Times Square, October 2025. The crowds are gone. What was once a symbol of relentless energy and excitement now feels like a stage after the show has ended, the applause faded, and the actors gone home. The energy that once defined this crossroads of the world has faded into an unsettling quiet. The constant hum of conversation, laughter, and honking taxis has been replaced by the distant echo of footsteps and the occasional passing car. The digital billboards now tower over half-empty streets, their bright colors reflecting off empty sidewalks. Costumed characters, who once posed for photos with eager tourists, now stand idle, competing for the attention of a handful of passers-by. This eerie calm is the new reality across America's most iconic destinations, from the Golden Gate Bridge to the Grand Canyon. Once bustling viewpoints and walkways now echo with silence, as if the landmarks themselves are waiting for visitors who never arrive. Restaurants and shops, once bustling with international visitors, now see mostly locals. Owners and staff wait patiently, hoping for a rush that never comes, their livelihoods hanging in the balance. The multicultural tapestry that defined these cities is unraveling. Festivals and parades that once drew crowds from around the globe are now quiet, their vibrant colors and sounds replaced by empty streets and silent stages. Tour buses run nearly empty, and guides wait for guests who never arrive. The stories they once shared with wide-eyed travelers now go unheard, their voices echoing in the emptiness. The economic ecosystem built on foreign visitors is collapsing. Hotels, souvenir shops, and attractions struggle to stay open, their futures uncertain as the flow of tourists dries up. The question is no longer just where the tourists have gone, but whether they'll ever return, and what will become of these once vibrant places if they don't. The empty streets are just the beginning. What we're witnessing is not just a temporary pause, but the visible sign of a much deeper crisis rippling through the American economy. The silence in these once bustling places tells a story of lost opportunity and uncertainty. The numbers are even more alarming. Behind every empty storefront and vacant hotel room are spreadsheets filled with red ink, and business owners grappling with losses they never imagined. The data paints a stark picture of an industry in freefall. In 2025, U.S. tourism revenue is projected to drop by nearly 11%, an $18 billion loss in a single year. This isn't just a statistic, it's a massive blow to cities, towns, and families who depend on tourism dollars to survive. Total revenue will fall below $169 billion, a 22% drop from pre-pandemic highs. For an industry that once seemed unstoppable, this is a dramatic reversal, erasing years of steady growth in a matter of months. International travel to the U.S. is down over 5%, making America an outlier as other countries' tourism rebounds. While airports in Europe and Asia are filling up again, U.S. terminals remain eerily quiet, and the flow of global visitors has slowed to a trickle. This isn't just about vacations, it's about the lifeblood of entire communities. Hotels, restaurants, theme parks, and local attractions that rely on a steady stream of visitors to keep their doors open. Tourism supports 20 million jobs, from hotel housekeepers and tour guides to restaurant servers and taxi drivers. Each lost visitor means fewer shifts, layoffs, and families struggling to make ends meet. The industry accounts for nearly 9% of the U.S. GDP, making it a cornerstone of the national economy. When tourism falters, the effects ripple far beyond airports and hotels, touching nearly every sector. The sector generates $585 billion in tax revenue, funding schools, infrastructure, and emergency services. These dollars are essential for maintaining the roads we drive on, the schools our children attend, and the emergency services we rely on in times of crisis. As visitor numbers fall, so does this vital funding, threatening public services nationwide. Communities are forced to make tough choices, cutting back on programs and delaying critical repairs. The ripple effect touches every community, turning lost tourism dollars into real-world hardship. From bustling cities to quiet rural towns, the economic freefall leaves no one untouched, and the path to recovery remains uncertain. The roots of this crisis lie in a shift in American policy and rhetoric. The America First approach, with stricter immigration controls and polarizing statements, has sent a message of exclusion to the world. Tougher visa processes and intimidating border experiences have made travel to the US feel risky and unwelcoming. A recent survey found 35% of Europeans and Asians are now less likely to visit the US, while only 22% are more inclined. Tourists are choosing friendlier destinations: Canada, Australia, Europe, where travel feels easier and more welcoming. The US has turned its own policies into a powerful deterrent, costing billions and eroding its global image. The decline is sharpest among key groups: South Koreans, Canadians, and Europeans. Korean tourists, once big spenders, now avoid the US due to safety concerns and a hostile climate. Canadians, the largest group of international visitors, are staying away in record numbers, frustrated by border hassles and political friction. European governments have issued travel advisories, warning of legal risks and unpredictable conditions in the US. These visitors aren't just numbers, they're high-value tourists who fill hotels, rent cars, and support local businesses. Their absence is a direct result of America's current image: unstable, unwelcoming, and unpredictable. In a competitive global market, a welcoming attitude matters as much as iconic landmarks. America's loss is other countries' gain. The fallout is devastating for local economies. Hotels slash prices to attract domestic travelers, but it's not enough. Layoffs hit concierges, bellhops, and housekeepers. Restaurants and tourist hotspots struggle to survive, cutting staff or closing for good. Retailers, from luxury boutiques to souvenir shops, see sales plummet, leading to more layoffs and supply chain pain. 20 million tourism-supported jobs are at risk, creating a cycle of economic hardship that spreads through entire communities. The domino effect, set off by unwelcoming policies, is now toppling businesses and livelihoods nationwide. The impact of policy on tourism is clear when comparing the US and Cuba. US restrictions devastated Cuba's tourism, especially after it was relisted as a state sponsor of terrorism, deterring not just Americans, but Europeans as well. European travelers now avoid Cuba to keep US travel options open, crippling Cuba's recovery. Ironically, America's own policies are now inflicting similar damage at home. The US is losing visitors due to its own unwelcoming stance, while Cuba struggles under external pressure. Both countries show how isolationist policies can backfire, harming economies and reputations. In a connected world, building walls only leads to self-inflicted wounds. Industry experts warn this isn't a temporary slump. What we're witnessing is a seismic shift that could reshape the future of American tourism for years, if not generations, to come. The warning signs are everywhere, and the consequences reach far beyond the immediate loss of visitors or revenue. It's a deep fissure in America's tourism foundation, one that threatens to undermine the country's reputation as a welcoming, must-see destination. The US brand as a dream destination is eroding fast, as iconic landmarks sit empty, and the excitement that once drew millions fades into uncertainty. Rebuilding trust and appeal could take decades. Tourists are quick to adapt, discovering new favorite places and sharing their experiences online, which accelerates the shift away from the US as a top choice. Airlines reroute flights, tour operators shift their focus, and entire industries pivot to meet the changing demand. As these patterns solidify, the US risks being left off the global tourism map entirely. The consequences are visible in every corner of the industry, from travel brochures that barely mention America, to international travel fairs, where the US presence is a shadow of what it once was. The damage goes beyond dollars. Entire communities that once thrived on tourism are now struggling, with shuttered businesses and lost jobs. Tourism is a key tool of cultural diplomacy, building goodwill and understanding between nations. By discouraging visitors, America risks isolating itself, losing not just revenue, but also the friendships and influence that come from global exchange. Experts agree, without urgent action, America's voice and presence on the world stage will continue to diminish, as fewer people experience its culture firsthand. Today's empty streets and closed attractions could become a permanent reality. No destination, no matter how famous, is indispensable in the eyes of global travelers. America's place in the world is at stake, and the choices made now will determine whether it remains a beacon for travelers or fades into the background of global tourism. The way forward is clear, but challenging. America must shift its tone and policies. Replace America First with America is Open. Streamline visa processes, reduce border hassles, and end punitive travel restrictions. Launch a global campaign to rebuild trust, targeting key markets with messages of hospitality and openness. International tourism isn't a luxury. It's vital to America's economy and global standing. The world is waiting. The question is, will America open its doors again?